Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. You spend the day invisible outside the wall, or is there something else you'd like to do with your
I think I'll try and get in the wall.
How would you like to get over the wall?
Are there people coming and going?
Not yet. But you could wait around and find out.
Yeah, I'll hang around for at least 20 minutes or whatever and observe the gate. It's a palisade wall. Does it have a portcullis or?
No portcullis. Just a wooden gate that opens and closes, with two guards on the outside and what looks to be a couple on the inside. Maybe you can occasionally hear chatting from the other side of the wall. And I guess you can actually go all the way up to the door and put your ear on it and get a guess of there being at least two people on the other side.
Yeah. Chat is asking for my spells, so I'll go ahead and give that to everyone. Got Reduce, Detect Magic, Color Spray, Feather Fall, Burning Hands, Deep Pockets, which is already cast, Displace Self, Conceal Alignment, which is already cast, ESP, Blink, Lightning Bolt, Phantom Steed, Lemon's Tiny Hut, and Dimension Door. Along with the amulet and all these scrolls, I've got more spells than a wizard could cast in a lifetime, or at least a couple days.
Yeah.
So I'll hang around for 20, 30 minutes, see if anyone comes and goes, or if I hear anything or see anything. Is this overlooking the village, in the middle of the village? Wait, this
is outside the village.
This isn't the Mont and Bailey. This is a different keep, but it's similar.
Right, it's just got a palisade wall around it, and then from behind it, from when you could see over the wall, when you're far enough away to see over it, there was a two-story building that didn't look like it was reinforced or fortified. It just looked like a nice estate that had a wall built up around it. And it looked like a pretty good distance from the wall to the estate proper. They must have leveled like half a forest to produce the timber for this palisade wall.
Covered or circumference or any relevant dimension?
I missed that first part of the...
What is how much area is covered by this walled estate? Like how big is the wall?
The estate looks to be 150 feet by maybe 80 feet or something, or maybe 150 by 100. So it's a rectangular building. And it looks like
grounds. How much ground is walled by the palisade?
Beyond that, it looks like you've got maybe 300 feet in any direction from the house. So 750 by 700. It's a large area.
Have guests started to arrive or anything? Like, is in the town, in the village, or anything? Or
not that you've seen, but as you're waiting for half an hour or 20 minutes or whatever to see what's going on, you do see some peasants with some supplies loaded on a wagon pulling its way up here.
Okay. I slip in with them and try and follow them through the gate.
Notice the guards are very careful with the peasants. They look under the cart. They look through the things on the cart. They ask the peasants many questions. Who are you? Why are you coming here? What do you have with you? They kind of grill the peasants on these things, but peasants are supposed to be there. They've got all the answers.
Okay, I think I'm just behind the cart, so I may have to scurry out of the way if a guard comes to look back of the wagon, but should be fine. And so they do all this inspection before opening the gate?
Correct.
What are these peasants doing? Are they just bringing food or something for the party?
It's flowers. They got a cart filled with flowers.
Oh, pretty.
They seem to be the decorating crew.
Well, I wait for them to open the gates and then hug the cart as we enter.
And you're in. The estate is lovely. They must have a large full-time gardening staff to keep up these grounds the way they are. There's a whole section of rose bushes that have been sculpted to form different shapes. There's a dolphin-shaped rose bush with petals coming out for eyes and spots all over it. There's trees that are shaped in different ways. One of them has it looks like two trunks that have come up and merged, and there's a swing hanging down in between them. in front of like a little pond with water lilies and frogs and turtles in the pond. It's really quite gorgeous. You're maybe a little surprised at the display of wealth here for
Yeah.
such a backwater estate.
Yeah, for such a small noble family. Although Rainwood, I think, is sort of an economic powerhouse of the region,
Yeah.
despite being so podunk. They've got a lot of land, a lot of serfs.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems conceivable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wander the ground for a bit and then head towards the estate itself.
Right. The estate has like a nice little overhang for wagons to pull up in case it's raining, for people, or carriages to pull up where people can enter and exit without being brutalized by the weather. Your flower people go up the nice winding, curving trail to the house, pull their wagon up there, unload their things. They get yelled at for having their donkey kind of shitting on the road, but someone comes along to clean it up, but the peasants get chewed out for it.
Mm-hmm. Are there people coming and going from the manor house itself?
Not entering and exiting, but you can see a flurry of activity on the inside of the manor house.
I peek in through a window and see what's going on.
It looks like on the bottom floor there's a large ballroom that is being set up with all sorts of flowers and decorations, and you can see kitchen staff running around preparing wine and arguing over things.
How many doors are there?
To the estate?
Yes.
I think if you do a walk around, there's 8 doors. As I said before, this is not a very defensible location. There's the main door, there's 2 doors, not 8. There's the main door, there's 2 doors on the back and 1 on the other side. That makes 5 doors. 5 doors. It looks like some of the back doors are really kind of like servants' entrances and exits to get to various areas. One of the side doors goes to a little stable. The other side door just opens into a separate garden that is kind of walled off via plants and bushes from the other areas. And the other back door is just a standard back entrance for normal people, for non-servants to exit.
I will pick a unnoticed door and slip into the manor house.
Okay.
So just, open it, assuming it's unlocked, and step in.
You slip on into the salon.
The salon? What is a salon?
It's like a party room.
Like a parlor?
Yeah, a parlor meets social area.
Oh, so this is the main...
Well, no,
main hall.
this leads into that area, yeah.
Okay.
There's a small... The salon... The big ballroom doesn't open itself out into the outside. There's a little chamber in between. Looks like maybe a mud room or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This room itself has 3 doors exiting from it. One that goes into that mud room. One that goes... I'm sorry, it has 2 doors exiting or entering from it. The mud room... no, it's got 3. 3, sorry. One that leads to the mud room, one that leads to the main entrance hall, and one that you see someone bringing food from, maybe a kitchen?
Okay. I'm going to try and head upstairs. Is there a staircase somewhere?
Yeah, you walk around, kind of dodging and weaving through the hustle and bustle, staying out of the way of people, trying not to be run into. Find a large staircase in the main foyer.
All right, and I head upstairs.
Okay. You can hear piano music from one of the bedrooms upstairs. It sounds like someone is practicing. Probably
Piano
practicing
or
for
harpsichord?
tonight. Piano.
What era are we in? Fantasy universe, that's what.
When did the piano? What was the piano invented?
Relatively recently. Last couple hundred years, I think.
Oh my.
At least the modern version. 1650. Oh wait, credited to Bartolomeo Cristofori, who lived mid 1600s. So somewhere around there. But there were like harpsichords and glockenspiels and all sorts of predecessors.
I have no idea what any of these things are.
Similar thing, just different mechanisms for smacking a string with a hammer, right?
Nice. So it's some piano variant then.
Yeah. All right. So I slip upstairs.
Okay.
Are there 2 stories? 3?
2.
2? And what's on the second story? Is it
looks like a lot of
bedrooms?
looks like mostly bedrooms, and there's a parlor up here. There's some office spaces. You do see like there's one area that seems a little bit smaller. Like all the rooms are a little bit smaller. It looks like servants' quarters maybe, and it's off on like this. The hallway turns to the side, so anyone that's no one walking about would ever see the servants' quarters from here. They're back into the side.
Okay. Office is actually what I'm after, so I'll head there if it seems like I'm looking for some information on this noble family. So I'm thinking maybe if I can find some of their correspondence, I can figure out who they are, what's going on, maybe who is invited to this party, where they're getting all this money. And so any sort of information. I don't even know who owns this place, who's hosting. So I'll head to any office and root through papers. Is there anyone in the office?
Yeah, you open the door, and someone looks to the door, goes, huh, gets up.
I make my best wind sound and give the door a bit of a shove and then like tiptoe back a few feet.
Okay, they go over and they just shut the door.
Who did it look like was in the office?
Probably the male in the family.
Okay, so it looked like a noble. It didn't look like a scribe or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll kill some time and poke around some of the other rooms and then plan to come back there.
Okay. You come across a small, it looks like this, there's a family that lives here. A mother, father, and 4 kids. 3 girls, 1 boy. It looks like there's maybe also, or it sounds like maybe there's a grandmother that lives here, but you haven't seen her. The kids are fussing about their clothes. The girls want very particular things, and they want their flowers done quite right. The young boy seems to be tired of his servants dressing him. He just wants to go practice sparring outside. He's like 8 years old, so he just wants to go hit things with a stick.
Okay. As boys do. You said there was some nook or something set apart from the rest of the second floor?
Yeah, the servants' quarters are off to the side and around a corner.
While I'm waiting for the Lord to get done in his office, I will head to the servants' quarters and see if I can overhear any interesting conversation.
Oh, the servants are all out of their quarters. They're totally empty. They're all busy.
Okay. Then I'll go back to the office and listen in.
You just hear the sounds of pens scratching from the other side. Seems to be busy writing.
Should I risk the creepy door opening trick again? Was the window open? Did I even see?
You did see.
I'm gonna try to silently open the door. Was his desk facing the door or away from the door? Facing the door, facing a window or something, overlooking a window in the grounds?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll hold is it a doorknob or a?
That's a latch.
Latch. So I'll activate the latch with the door still closed. Then wait a second, and then do that thing where you pull on the latch and push on the door. Yeah, to open it as silently as possible.
All right,
and open it just like a crack and slip my invisible head in.
You start to poke your head in, and you see him looking towards the door again, getting up from his seat.
I let the door like naturally creak. I give it like a gentle shove and let it naturally and eerily creak open as I sidestep through the door into the room and like get out of the path of the door or his path. I press myself against a wall on the inside of the room.
He comes up, shuts the door, stares at it, gives it a tug, opens it, lets it go, and then pokes his head out into the hallway and calls, Charles! Charles! We're having problems with this door. Come here at once.
Perfect.
A few minutes later, a servant shows up and he starts telling Charles what he's been seeing, and the door keeps opening on its own. And if you have to, get the locksmith down. This will not stand.
While they're having this conversation, I'm going to run over to the desk and see what they're looking at. See what he's writing.
It looks like a personal journal. He is writing his thoughts of this morning in it.
Any thoughts?
This great feast is happening. We're having this great party. All of our friends and family are invited. It would not do for any of them to understand the true dire straits that our house is in. We have spent every last penny in order to continue the illusion of the wealth that we once had. Hopefully hopefully Lord Bartholomew will see what we have and continue doing business with us. If not for him, we would all be lost. And then there's like a little note in the margin. The door keeps opening. Clearly, this is a bad sign.
All right. That sounds like about all I can gather before he comes back over to the desk.
Yeah.
So I just like push myself against a wall and wait. What else is in the room? Are there books?
There's a small library in here. It's like one nice long bookshelf.
I mean, I take it I'm kind of stuck in this room for a little while. So I mean, do I notice anything interesting?
No, you softly pat around the room. There's large carpets that are rugs, I guess, that cover the floor. Carpets. What's the difference between a carpet and a rug? I can never remember.
I think carpets are typically like the floor, like built, like attached. That makes sense. Like a carpet is like the carpet. It's like your floor. If a fabric-based flooring, whereas a rug is a self-contained unit that you like roll out.
That's our modern use of them, right?
Although I guess magic carpets fly.
Yeah, because carpets...
It's the opposite of being attached as a floor.
I don't know. Anyway.
Honestly, it's probably two words from different language with different language origins.
Yes. Anywho, there's rugs.
I have to say, you should really enlist, in maybe some of your campaign planning sections, you should list your chat to help you flesh out some of the details of this world. I'm particularly enjoying their Dear Diary entries.
Are they making entries in chat?
Yeah. Way more interesting than your entries.
Whatever.
So in any case, I am held hostage in this room for at least a little while.
Looks like the library is filled mostly with scrolls. You try and get a peek at some of them, but it's difficult to do without making any noise. There are a few books there, but the topics are fairly mundane.
What's out the window? Like, what's this study going to do of?
And you can see beyond the wall to the village below.
Is it looking east or west? Or north or
you
south, I guess?
You are looking west.
Okay. So towards the river.
Towards the river, towards the front door. Yeah. Eventually, maybe 15 minutes later, the guy shuts his book, puts it in his pocket, puts it in a drawer, locks the drawer with the key, pockets his key, and heads out.
I forgot my knock. I could pull the whole reduce the drawer trick and burst it off its hinges. But I'll fumble through the rest of the desk after he leaves. I'll go through the rest of the desk, see if there's anything unlocked that's interesting.
Nah, just people's personal effects. You get a little better idea of the situation of the household, who their friends are. There's a letter, a stack of letters from various people, a bunch of invitation replies saying, "Oh, I would love to be here, signed so and so."
Oh yeah, I'm interested in those.
attend.
Do I recognize any names? I mean, I guess I'd need that damn heraldry proficiency, maybe.
You don't recognize most of these names.
No. What about particular red shield?
Uh,
Slash.
there's a couple of things that have Red Shield as a middle name, but not
Really?
as a last
So
name.
it's not as suspicious of a thing as I would have expected, or as a, so yeah. So for me, that was a huge red flag. But it seems like Red Shield was a powerful noble family with many branches
That
and
have
so,
married elsewhere, and yeah.
yeah. So it's not actually as interesting. I'm beginning to think that maybe this was like a red herring. Like maybe, yeah, maybe it's not. Maybe Red Shield is not that uncommon of a noble name, and or at least like a big enough family that she may have been a black sheep, and this could be just a wild goose chase. But
Maybe.
it's the lady's line though that is connected to the Red Shields, correct?
Correct.
And this seems like the Lord's study.
Right. And he's definitely the head of the household because she has changed her last name.
Okay.
So-
So after rifling through this, I put everything back how it was, and I leave. So I assume it's been enough minutes later that the Lord's not going to be right outside the doorway.
Right.
I do the same thing, quietly open the door and slip through it.
Okay. You come through and you see the
Bump into a handyman who's like fixing the door on the other side. Damn,
no.
this door is creepy.
you see one of the young girls now sparring with one of the young boy in the hallway. They're beating each other with sunflowers. And you have many hours to kill before the party begins.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I can find a the ladies' chamber or personal, like if she's got anywhere where she's keeping her correspondence, or if women can't write in this day and age.
Women can definitely write in this day and age.
Okay, that's good.
They're
That's
not that
good.
repressed. You do find her and a few of her handmaidens that are tending to her, getting her dressed quite right. You know, they're not putting it, or they're putting it on her and tightening it here and doing this here, and they're talking about what to do later in the day. It's clear that this is not the final preparations. This is the dress rehearsal for tonight.
Okay, I listened for a little bit, but it sounds like I get bored.
Yeah.
Where are they doing? Is this like her bed
This is a
chamber?
bedroom.
Is the door open, closed?
It is open. There are kids that come in and kids that come out, and handmaidens that come in and out. So they've
I'll
just
slip in and poke around. Like, does it seem like this is her? Like, if she were to write letters,
there is a vanity
Should we
with
write
some correspondence on it, but you're in a room with other people who are talking.
yeah. So I'll look at what's immediately visible on top, but I won't disturb it.
On top is a signed and sealed letter that is ready to be sent out to Countess Nina Castilian of Thornwood.
It is already sealed.
Yes.
I really need to devise a spell for reading sealed letters. Actually, that Georg is so not interested in that, but for his job, that's become. Yeah.
So, is there anything else you'd like to do? Anything else, other information that you'd like to gather before the event?
I listen to the women gossip. Probably, I'm at first. I bet I'm super excited. Like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm in the girls' locker room, and then like after 5 minutes, I'm like, these. What are they even? No, fantasy ruined.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes. It's no more.
So I think yeah. It sounds like I do my best to get an idea of who these people are, what's going on, if there's any. Yeah, but it sounds like this was the best I can come up with.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, I think I'll get bored and head out to the head down to the ballroom. That seems like where all the events are happening.
Yep. The flowers are all set
Hang
up
out
now.
there. So I think we're skipping a couple of hours of Georg being invisible and poking around the manor. Does anything happen in those hours, or
No, it's pretty boring. It's just people preparing for a party and talk of, oh, did you hear? The Breckenridges had a garden party last week, but it was ruined because the pig got away. Oh my god. It's...
So there are nobles starting to filter in, or
No,
this is the
just
woman's handmaidens.
This is just gossip amongst the family and their assistants.
After like the few hours poking around the manor, I'll slip out a side door and take a look at the gate and see who's coming and going.
Sure.
Probably get some time out in the garden.
As the evening
I
approaches...
guess, I mean, I'm playing it safe and wandering around the grounds.
Sure.
Looking out for anything interesting or out of the ordinary or...
All right. As the evening approaches, you definitely get a sense that more people are coming and going. More food is arriving to be prepared. A couple of extra servants come in. Look like maybe some assistant cooks. And maybe an hour before the sun sets, you see the first of the guests begin to arrive. And their nice, fancy, noble carriages pulled by white horses who've had their manes all done up in braids. By chauffeurs with, in tuxedos. And people start to filter into the party. Where are you positioned during all of this?
I mean, I think during the afternoon, I'm probably out in the garden watching the people come in, maybe trying to overhear conversation as they head up the steps, identify anyone if I can, but I probably can't.
Yeah, it's all...
And eventually, I think I'll head into the ballroom, but
okay.
For now, I think it seems like people are still arriving, so I'll be taking a look at who's showing up.
Okay. You do recognize the woman who the letter you had opened was addressed to, Lady Steamwall.
Okay. How do I know is she announced by the...
Yes.
Okay, everyone is announced as they head in?
Yes.
Are they announced at the gate or at the ballroom?
In the ballroom.
Okay. So I think at this point it's been a few hours or whatever. I've made my way back to the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably pressed up against a wall. Be
Yes.
sitting up against a wall, bored out of my mind.
Yes. This is a wizard's worst nightmare. Being forced to be invisible at a noble family's party. That you're not allowed to drink anything at or eat anything or do anything. You just have to sit around and listen to gossip. This is probably
I have
Garrett's
a lot of
worst day.
skin in my rations, so I'm sure I'm staying hydrated, nibbling on dried figs or whatever I've got.
And there's the occasional plate of hors d'oeuvres that gets left near somewhere, and you just can swipe a little bit.
Yeah. All right. So you said someone was introduced.
Yes, Lady Elizabeth Reginald Steamwall, Redshield Steamwall, the woman that you recognize.
Yeah, I recognize her name at least.
Yes,
I
she's
do.
of average height, maybe a little bit above average height, and maybe a little heavy for her height. She's in her 60s, and she arrives. You've seen the letters and you've seen the correspondence, and she's arriving right on time. She's not too soon. She's not too late. She's not fashionably late. She is perfectly punctual, and she kind of has this proud look about her as she struts about the place.
And she's not a secret wizard?
Not yet.
Not yet. If she is, it's still a secret?
Yeah.
All right.
What's your
Well,
game plan here, Georg?
I don't even know what the game is. I don't even know what the game is. I think I'm at this point, from this point forward, I'll hang out in the ballroom and observe. I'm going to cast my ESP when it seems most opportune. So I'll wait till most of the guests have arrived, I guess, because I'll want to ESP Lady Steamwald and the Lord of this manor, probably the Lady of this manor. I guess I'll wait a little longer to see if anyone else interesting shows up.
Okay. So once most of the guests have arrived, there's not really anyone here that's any more interesting to you. They're just
So I waited 20 minutes or so after the Lady Steamwald shows up and then cast my ESP.
Sure. So Lady Steamwall, you get the distinct impression that she is very upset to be here without her beloved husband. She feels out of place and off-put that she is attending by herself without a companion.
So I get any indication as to why her husband's not here? Or...
No, just fretting that he's not here.
Okay, but it's not like she's mourning his loss. It's like he's not allowed to be here, and
It doesn't seem like it's not allowed.
Yeah,
It's just like
not,
he
just
didn't
not able
attend.
to be here. And,
Yeah. You get from the Lord of the House, Lord Wendelin. He seems to be looking about for a particular person that he has business with. Seems like he is trying to arrange a marriage between his son and that other guy's daughter for the dowry. Which I know is super exciting to you.
Garrett's just like, oh my god, did I really come all the way out here for this?
Right, right.
Biding my time for days. The lady of the house.
Oh, she's having a fabulous time. Oh, all these people here. My party's such a hit. Everyone likes it. It's been so long. It's too bad we're so poor. No, don't think about that.
Anyone else that caught my eye, or should I go back to...
Just like, it's all crap. It's all just like noble bullshit drama.
Yeah, I'll burn out the rest of the spell, probably between the Lord Wendelin and Lady Steamwald. See if I don't know if I get any more from them in another...
Nothing that is interesting to you in any way.
So I guess I am somewhat curious as to where Lady Steamwald's Lord Steamwald is. But that's not even the Red Shield side of the family.
What? I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
I said there is some question as to where Lord Steamwald is, why he couldn't make it.
Right.
But that's not even the Red Shield side of the family.
Right.
And then this business doesn't sound like a cover for anything. It really just sounds like he's trying to marry his son off to increase the family's wealth. So maybe we just kill a couple of hours while I'm like twiddling my thumbs in this damn ballroom, waiting for something interesting to happen.
Yeah. So
questioning whether anything interesting will happen.
All the guests arrive, and the party is going along. The people are playing piano. There's a lot of discussion happening. Everyone's kind of doing their thing. The servants are moving back and forth. You're getting kind of tired of this, but you're sticking it out because you're a 7th level wizard. You're nothing if not studious, industrious, and dedicated.
I got 14 willpower. I can ride through it, grin and bear it.
Right.
I'm invisible. I don't even need to grin.
But you've got plenty of attention to be looking around. You're not getting lost in any of the details here because it's all so lame. When something catches your eye, a woman walks in who is not announced. She wears a velvet cloak trimmed in lavender fur over a white silk gown fitted above the waist and tied with a cord of silver. She's got long black hair that kind of curls its way down the back of her lavender cape / cloak. And her face is just exquisitely framed. But there's something about her that is surprisingly remarkable.
Spellcraft check. I am immune to first level illusions, by the way.
You are immune to first level illusions.
Okay. Can I roll a spellcraft check to? I mean, maybe it's not even spellcraft. To just, is it the way you described her face made it sound supernatural? Like it sounded like she had some plastic surgery, old plastic surgery.
This is like jaw-droppingly attractive woman.
Okay.
This is the most attractive woman you've seen in your entire lifetime.
Okay. So can I...
Go ahead. Make me a spellcraft check.
I mean, I've got 19 spellcraft, so it's like not even... I don't know if this will act low too. Maybe I don't notice. I mean, my intuition was that it she's too perfect. She's enhanced her beauty with witchcraft, or someone has. Does that seem accurate? Is that still what I'm thinking?
No. She just looks unnaturally beautiful.
Okay. Unnaturally.
I mean,
exactly what I was
like Helen of Troy, the sort of thing that you would call unnatural because it's so good.
Okay. I think I subconsciously find myself standing up if I was sitting down and taking a few steps towards her. What you said she wasn't announced. She just sort of slips in unnoticed, or does everyone turn to look at her?
She does slip in unannounced.
Not unnoticed.
She turns, smiles at the doorman, and then you notice she starts to cast a spell. Give me a spellcraft check.
Yeah. 24. That's pass, so I should get it unless it's particularly difficult.
She casts a hold portal spell.
On the door.
On the door as the doorman begins to close it.
And no one seems to notice.
Everyone's busy with the party.
Yeah, I actually have a hold portal spells, so I do know what that does. It is just verbal, and it's casting time 1, so it's a pretty subtle spell. I'm going to circle around to the door that she just held. There are a couple of other exits, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. She doesn't hold those, or what?
Well, we're just doing this one step at a time,
Yeah.
right?
So I'm going to go to the hold portal, or to the held portal, to the door, like circle around behind her and go to the door. Whew, man. So I think I circle around her to the door. I didn't recognize her, correct? She is, so are you worried they're about to spoil it for me?
Yeah, they keep talking spoilers, so we're gonna just purge
Okay.
chat.
I do have chat open, but I didn't see any spoilers. I'll just minimize it then. Damn it, chat. You...
This is the fear that I have when I try and plan D&D sessions, is then people are like, oh my god, look at this, and they start spoiling shit for everyone else. So we're gonna take a break right now, and we'll come back with Dicing with Depth in a little bit, and you guys think about what you've done. You're gonna ruin this
Think
for
about
everyone.
what you did.
Think about what
Bad
you've done.
chat.
You guys are
Bad
ruining the
chat.
game.